Jason Rzucidlo reporting from AmericaJR.com. I'm reporting inside Cobo Center for a special meeting of the Detroit Economic Club. Today we're going to hear from the Detroit Tigers, including President, CEO, and General Manager Dave Dombrowski and Manager Jim Leyland. Stay tuned for remarks from them, plus much more right here on AmericaJR.com.
Please join me in welcoming Dan Dickerson and Jim Price.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out, everybody. What a great turnout on this beautiful day. We have a lot of entertaining things coming up for you. You will be hearing from the President, General Manager, and CEO of the Detroit Tigers, Dave Dombrowski, and you'll also be hearing from Manager Jim Leyland about this 2010 season. 2010 season is off to a pretty good start. There have been some amazing already through 23 games comeback wins, time and time again. This team has survived a grueling 11-game West Coast swing with some late arrivals. And maybe best of all, a series win over the Minnesota Twins yesterday. Today we'll not only hear about the season from Dave and Jim, but also look at some highlights from the very entertaining 23 games we have played so far. Also like to remind you that at the end of the lunch today, we have some unique, valuable auction items, raffle items, that we will be giving away to 3 lucky winners, all connected to a current or former prominent member of this organization. The first from Willie Horton, 18-year career, 14 years here in Detroit, 4-time All-Star, one of the most popular Tigers. We have a Willie Horton bat and an autographed copy of his book, The People's Champion. Al Kaline, well, nobody impacted the game here in Detroit to the degree that he did. Mr. Tiger, 22 years here in Detroit. And we have an autographed Al Kaline bat and an autographed copy of his recently released book. It's a beauty. 6, a salute to Al Kaline. Justin Verlander led the American League with 269 strikeouts, 5th highest total in this franchise's history last year. Signed to a new 5-year deal, so he's going to be racking up a few more in the years ahead wearing that old English D. We have an autographed Detroit Tigers Justin Verlander home jersey for you as well. So that will be at the very end, so be sure to stay right after the team files out. Jim?
Thank you very much. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be here, to see so many old friends. And our really good friend, my old teammate, Al Kaline, could not make it, but first of all, I want to introduce a young man that grew up not far from here. A fellow that in the 60s and 70s I had the pleasure to play with, and anytime we had a brawl, I was right behind him. A great player, Willie Horton. Willie, would you stand, please? In Fox Sports Detroit, how about Mario Pemba? Big M, stand up, buddy. And his partner, Ron Allen. Ron, where are you? There he is. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the boss, CEO, President, General Manager, the architect of this team. Things changed when Dave got here for the better. Dave Dombrowski.
Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon to everybody. Beth, thank you for hosting us once again. It's our pleasure to be here. Father, thank you for those very compelling and accurate comments. The thing I do want to forewarn you about, though, is that Jim's brother is a priest, and payback is real tough, so beware. Since the last few years, we've seen this group grow here, and it's fun to watch. This is coming back, this is my 9th year with the Tigers. And since 2006, I made note, you realize we've had over 2,500,000 fans per year come downtown to Comerica Park to see the Tigers play. Our fans are fantastic. We always appreciate their support. We anticipate an attendance number very similar to that this year. And if we have a continued good season, we would anticipate perhaps doing more than that. We're in a position, we play in one of the most beautiful ballparks in the country, If you travel around and you have a chance to see them, sometimes you don't realize your own jewels in your own city. And Comerica Park is absolutely one of the most beautiful ballparks in the country, so we're very fortunate to have it. There's all type of entertainment there, fun for everyone, great bargains we have for all. We try to make sure we appeal to everyone so they have an opportunity to come and to have affordable entertainment and some of the best bargains in the game. And I guarantee you, if you come, if you bring your children, you will have fun. It's a very enjoyable place to come. And we also have, it was mentioned earlier, to me, and a lot of times he doesn't get much accolade because he's very quiet and he stays in the background. But to me, we also have the best owner of professional sports in Mike Illich. And I think that he gives us the support that we need. He also has another team, as you know, playing right now in the middle of the playoffs. Had a tough game last night, but we hope that they pull through and bring the Stanley Cup back home. But you could not ask for a better owner, not only from a team perspective, but from a community perspective. And I think we're all blessed in that regard. I'm going to say a few things about the club, but before I do, I want to make sure, because there are a lot of them here, I won't introduce them, but I do want to make note of our front office people that make the organization work. And you know many of them, but I would like them, since they serve me and help me, and we work hand in hand in so much, and they work with you and everything and helping you, to take a, please stand, our front office employees with the Detroit Tigers organization. If you could all stand and take a bow. Well, 3 of the last 4 years for us with the Tigers have really been exciting pennant races, some that have been successful, some of them not quite as successful, but to me exciting. You see exciting baseball day in and day out, and I think this year has that same chance and opportunity. As you know, this winter time we made some adjustments and made some changes with the ball club. And pro, con, however you felt about them, and take the responsibility. I will say that in my preliminary meeting here beforehand, and I met individuals, that if you have questions about the lineup, it is not me, it is Mr. Lehman. You can talk about the lineup. You can ask me about the changes, and you can get on me for those. But I actually, for me, like the lineup and like our club, and think we're in a position where we have a chance to have a good year. And I sat down and I was writing beforehand, back at the office today, and I started writing down some names, which I won't go into because it's a position where all of a sudden you start talking about everybody and they're going to be introduced shortly. But we have a nice core of veteran players that have been with us for a while. And that's a good place to start because they provide leadership. And you were introduced, you heard one of their names before. We have a couple of those that are, to me, a couple of the best players in the game of baseball. We have some players that are back from injury that are very important to us. And we also have some new arrivals. And when I say new arrivals, there's some new arrivals that are young and a veteran status. So when you combine that, to me, that usually is a good way to build an organization, because you bring those young players in and some new blood, and you're in a position, there's some enthusiasm there. And again, without bringing any specifics to these players, because all of them are worthwhile, I do want to make note of one, in the sense that when this person scores a run, which I hope takes place tonight, it will be the 1500th of his big league career, and he'll only be the 68th player in the history of the game to do that. And it's Johnny Damon. Johnny.